right, we are on the record. It's April 1st, April Fool's Day. And this is Judge Wish. It is courtroom 1, session 1. Can I have the parties please announce themselves for the record?
Kathy Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Let's discuss it on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Steve Haddon.
All right, Mr. Haddon,
Steve Mark Haddon, I kept my name.
you're here in 2019 MO 562AO. You were
59.
arrested for an open container violation. I do
Yes.
find probable cause. Do you want to try and resolve your case today, Mr. Haddon?
Definitely, and I won't drink it like that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there an offer for
I
Mr.
know I
Haddon?
smoke, but it'll be nice.
Adjudication of guilt, 5 days.
It takes of guilt 5 days.
And then does he have, how much time does he have in?
Put in the trash can.
3.
I know the beer thing is. I'm starting to understand clothes, I understand.
And I do have to impose court
That's
costs,
right.
Mr. Haddon, but I'll give you a year to pay him off. So you want to plea?
Oh,
I'll
I'm sorry,
plead 5
were we
days,
appointed?
no contest.
I don't know if
5
you were
days.
appointed previously.
Same
He didn't fill out a form, but I'm gonna appoint you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, 5 days. That's a little wide left.
Yeah, we will accept that offer. Your Honor,
13
plea
Social
no
Security at the
contest.
house. Steve from the port. Okay. Let's call him up. I'll keep talking.
Thank you. You want a plea no contest?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Haddon, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? Is that a yes?
Yes,
All right. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
yes,
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
Nothing, I know
All
probation.
right. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
U.S. citizen.
All right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm
I'm
going to
still a US
adjudicate
citizen.
you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with 3 days credit for time served. I'm going to order that you pay court costs by April 1st, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you
US
must do
citizen,
so in
good, though.
writing within 30
Days are
days.
good.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you,
Good to
sir.
know.
Good luck to you, Mr. Haddon.
No, no, boy.
All right, tell me your name, ma'am.
Jeannie Roger.
All right, Ms. Rogers, you're here in 2019 MM 2719AO. You were arrested for trespass on a property after warning. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there an offer for Ms. Rogers?
Credit for time served, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt.
Okay.
We will
Is that-
accept that offer, Your Honor, and plea no
Is that
contest.
2 days? Okay. All right, and don't go back there, Ms. Rogers, okay?
Okay, I won't.
All
I've
right.
already made further plans.
Okay, good.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, we're just gonna do a plea, so you gotta hang on, okay?
Okay.
Almost.
But you'll be getting out of here today, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Rogers, I'm showing you this plea form. Is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes, it is.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
And are you on probation anywhere? No. Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
I'm a U.S. citizen.
Okay. Do you understand, though, if you're not, it will subject you to deportation?
I was born and raised in Los Angeles.
Okay, so you understand.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I'm gonna impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by April 1st, 2020. And you're not to go back to that post office at 51 East Jefferson Street, okay?
Okay.
Abide by any trespass warnings. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, ma'am, okay?
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Steven Santos.
All right, Mr. Santos, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County. Looks like your bond is set at none in that case, and Seminole County has 24 hours to pick you up, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Leonard Cooper, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Cooper, you're here in 2019 MM320AW. You were arrested for a violation of a county ordinance and disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Cooper?
Adjudication of guilt, 5 days.
All right, and she's got 4 in. All right, so you got 4 in, offers 5, and I do have to impose court costs. Do you want to take that offer, Mr. Cooper?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, Mr. Cooper, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
All right, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the pleas. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 4 days time served. That'll be on each count, and those will run concurrent, okay? I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 1st, 2020. Gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck to you. All right, ma'am, please tell me your name.
Heather Truelove Lindsay.
All right, Miss Lindsay, you're here in 2019 MM2673AO. You were arrested for trespass on a property after warning. I do find probable cause for the arrest. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Miss Lindsay?
Adjudication, credit for time served.
4 days. All right, that'll get you out today, Miss Lindsay. Do you want to take the offer?
Yes, Ms. Wish. This one. Right here.
And, no return as well, Your Honor.
Yeah.
They.
Thank you. All right, Miss Lindsay, you want to plead no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is this your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
I'm a citizen.
Okay, but you understand that if you're not, it will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 4 days time served. You're not to go back to 2827 West Livingston Street, all right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm from Miami anyways. Thank you, Ms. Wish.
You're to abide by
Good
all
morning.
trespass warnings, and I am gonna impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by April 1st, 2020, okay?
Thank you, Ms. Wish.
Want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
I can
okay?
afford an attorney. Thank you, Ms.
All
Wish.
right. Have a good
God
day.
bless.
Good luck to you. All right, sir, please tell me your name. Tell me. I can't hear him.
Luckner Kadu.
Oh, yes.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Moore? He was a. Sure. All right, sir. You are here in 2019 CF 4433AO. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause for the offense. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And I am going to stay your bond at the $1,000, okay? All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Darryl Gillespie.
Do we know what happened with Mr. Fountain? Mental health? Okay, and that was in 2019 CF 4438 and 2019 MO 5710, and we'll reset Mr. Fountain. All right, you're Mr. Gillespie? Okay, sir, you're here in 2016 CF 7065AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was already found for uttering a forged instrument, depositing an item with intent to defraud, and grand theft. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any witnesses or victims listed in the affidavit for arrest warrant. You're not to return back to any SunTrust bank. And your bonds will stay on count 1 as listed in the warrant at $1,500, in count 2, $1,500, and count 3, $500. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Glenroy Chaffett, ma'am.
I'm sorry, what?
Glenroy Chaffett, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, sir, you're here in 2019 CF 4419AO. You were arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause for your arrest, sir. You did not fill out a form for the public defender. Are you planning on hiring your own attorney?
Yes,
Looks
Your
like
Honor.
you have Mr. Dutray on your other cases.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, we'll set you for a determination at council hearing in a week, just in case you haven't hired anybody and you're not able to bond out, okay? You're not to drive without a valid license, sir, and your bond will stay on your driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions at $2,500. You're also out on bond, sir, in 2018 CT 2271AW and 2018 CT 2272AW. I am revoking those bonds and setting those bonds at none, sir.
Your Honor, Mr. Johnson's case, the next defendant, the defense and I had the opportunity to speak prior to about a PC challenge. And
Yeah, I didn't know if there's a flee, I didn't see a fleeing and eluding.
Yes, Your Honor. So we agreed to, on the second case, the 19 CF 4444, set count 1 as the primary, and then subsidiary as to count 2 on that case. On the 4443 case, ROR, and subsidiary on the no valid.
Okay.
In Your Honor, we do have one other challenge as to the charge for contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
What? 2003, what,
16.
so the person who was hiding in the back under the or was 16-year-old?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay,
So by having the drugs in the car with
Yeah.
the minor, that's the state's argument for PC.
yeah, I mean, that's what
Okay.
I'm looking at as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr.
Maybe
Augusto?
If you heard on that point.
Yeah,
We would just say that the statute requires that the person commit an act which encourages or contributes the child being delinquent. We don't see any act here other than the fact that the drugs were allegedly in the vehicle at the time that the child was also there. I'm sorry, the minor.
state, I mean,
My response would be, Your Honor, if you look at the totality of circumstance, the defendant was driving without a valid license. Whether or not Your Honor finds PC for the fleeing is the officer's description is a high rate of speed while the child is in the car. Then there are drugs found in the vehicle where the child was then hiding. I believe based on the totality of circumstance, there's enough for contributing to delinquency.
yeah, I do find that there's probable cause. Did I appoint the public defender? Or, wait, I think you all started talking before I announced the
Right,
case
sorry.
numbers and, okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I just want to make sure that we put it on the record. So in 2019 CF 444AO, Mr. Johnson, you were arrested for possession of cocaine and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. I do find probable cause for those offenses. In 2019 CF 4443AO, you were arrested for fleeing and attempting to elude. Neither the state defense or myself finds probable cause, and so I am gonna ROR you on that count and treat count 2, which I do find probable cause for, as a subsidiary for no valid driver's license. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. In the first case, you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with the individual that was in the back seat, Mr. Hawk. I'm gonna set your bond on count 1 at $2,500. On count 2, it will be $150. In 2019 CF 4443AO, again, you're ROR'd on count 1, and it will be $100 on count 2. You're not to drive without a valid license, not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and you're out on bond in 2019 CF 227A or 2270AO. I am revoking that bond and setting your bond, actually you're out ROR, I'm setting your bond at none. So I'm revoking the release. right, sir, please tell me your name.
Carl Jones.
Mr.
Carl
Jones, you're
Jones.
here in 2019 CF 4431AO. You were arrested for petty theft as a third subsequent offense. I do find probable cause for your arrest, sir. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to the Starbucks at 400 South Park Avenue. You're to abide by any and all trespass warnings. You're not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses in the case.
Does that remain a misdemeanor at this point?
It's a felony, sir. You have 2 prior convictions. And your bond will be set at $2,500. Again, you're not to have any contact with any of the individuals in that case, and you're not to return back there and to abide by all trespass warnings. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Larry Knuckles.
All right, Mr. Knuckles, you're here in 2019 CF 4445AO. You were arrested for aggravated assault. I do find probable cause. In 2019 MO 5720, you were arrested for alcohol or open container violation. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you in both those cases. I'm going to order that you have no contact with any victim or witness listed in the affidavit. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. Your bond will be set at $5,000. I'm not sure if he wants to try and resolve the open container, but
State's not gonna
you
make an
might want to explain to him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry, Miss,
State's not gonna make an offer in the
Okay.
open container, Your Honor.
but they're combined, and it may place him at the scene and all sorts of things, so.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Okay, Your Honor, we would just like to know the bond for the alcoholic open
I'm
container.
just gonna stay it at the $250.
$250, thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Jarrell Rand.
All right, Mr. Rand, you're here in 2019 CF 4436AO. You were arrested for armed burglary of a conveyance with a firearm, carrying concealed firearm, grand theft third degree of a firearm, possession of burglary tools, and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I am gonna appoint the public defender. I believe count 1 is a PBL.
It is, Your Honor. Based on the taking of the firearm from the F-150, breaking in the window, the defendant is identified as one of the 2 co-defendants during a show-up. We would ask the defendant be held at no bond based on proof evident presumption grade, looking at the 4 corners of the affidavit of Deputy Jeans. As far as count 3, subsidiary bonds as to all other counts, and no contact with any co-defendant or victim.
Mr. Augusto?
Yes, Your Honor, we would argue that the proof is not evident, neither is the presumption grade that he committed this crime based on the 4 corners of the affidavit, simply because there was no indication that Mr. Rand indeed had the firearm that was found on him. at the time of the alleged burglary itself. They found it later on, but no witness placed it on him beforehand or at the time of the burglary.
All right, I do find proof evident presumption great. I'm gonna hold him on no bond on count 1. Count 2 will be 2,500, count 3, 150, count 4, 150, count 5, 100. You're not to return back to that location as listed in the affidavit. Is everybody aware of what that address is?
May I approach defense, Your Honor?
Yes, he understands, Your Honor.
Okay. And you're not to have any contact with any victim or witness or co-defendant as alleged in the affidavit, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition, okay? All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Benjamin Timothy Sprinkle, ma'am.
All right, sir, you're here in 2019 CF 4422AO. You were arrested for possession of fentanyl, possession of heroin, possession of cocaine, and possession of tetrahydrocannabinols. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I am gonna set your bond on count 1 at $1,000. I'm gonna stay all the subsidiary bonds at 150, 150, and 150. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Please tell me your name, sir.
Jamel Lewis Warwick.
All right, Mr. Warwick, you're here in 2019 CF 4439AO. You were arrested for grand theft. I do find probable cause for the offense. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. Your bond will stay at $2,500.
That's for no return as well, Your Honor.
Well,
To the exit
the
ramp.
528 toll.
To the exit ramp, yes.
Okay, so no return to the exit ramp
At
on
5
State Road 528 in that
It's like a
toll
stockyard right
area.
off the side of the, after the toll, it's like a
I wouldn't
stockyard.
talk about the facts of your case, sir, okay? If you have a
Absolutely.
question, talk to Mr.
Hey, I just didn't want to say
Augusto.
like the exit ramp, I was just giving a direct spot as.
I
where it
know,
was.
but now you've just placed yourself at the scene. So.
I was at the scene, that's where they got me
I
from.
know. Just don't talk about what happened or where you were on the record, okay? You have Mr. Augusto there. If you need him to speak to the court, you tell him something, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So no return to that particular area. And again, no contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. And I believe I stayed the bond.
That's my help.
And Your Honor, I have advised Mr. Warwick of his right to remain silent. However, he would like to address the court at this time.
I just had a particular issue with the way that it was being charged. Scrap metal isn't done by length. It's saying $25 per foot. But that's not what galvanized steel is, and I have receipts for. It's 5 cents a pound for 40 pounds. Isn't a felony count. That would leave it at misdemeanor because it would, the value. He's saying I had $1,000.
I'm going by what's in the affidavit, sir.
I understand, ma'am.
Okay.
I was just saying that, you know, scrap metal, something you can look up, it changes. It's on the stock market.
Okay.
So steel or aluminum or whatever
Okay,
changes every day.
Well,
But
that's a defense that you can present
20.
at your
okay,
trial
I was just
if
saying
you
due to the
want.
bond that got me on grand theft.
Okay,
And that's
well,
higher than what it was for
the-
what I had. That's all.
I did find probable cause.
Yes, ma'am.
And I set the bond.
Yes, ma'am.
So
No problem.
argue any defense that you have at another date.
No problem at
Okay.
all. Oh, sorry. All right.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Marcus Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, you're here in 2019 CF 1216. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for your arrest for attempted felony murder enumerated with a firearm, which I believe is a life felony, and burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery with a firearm, which is, I believe, is punishable by life. And probable cause has already been found. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. State, are you asking me to make some findings?
Yes, Your Honor. State would ask the defendant be held at no bond on counts 1 and 2 based on proof evident presumption grade, looking at the four corners of the 11-page affidavit of Mr. Detective Jefferson Wirtz. This defendant with a co-defendant went to a home. The first witness saw a truck back into the home driveway where there was a trailer with, lawn equipment. The witness notices the truck and contacts his father. Father goes outside while observing the people taking the items out of the trailer. He sees one of the defendants bend down to pick up something. The next thing he hears, there's 4 shots ring out. One of the shots struck the victim in his arm. He sees what appears to be his cell phone, he believes, later to be found out the defendant's cell phone under the vehicle. The vehicle flees. The witness is able to track the vehicle for some time before the witness loses sight of the vehicle. Based on investigative tools of law enforcement, they're able to track down the owner of the cell phone and an email address to come back to this defendant as one of the 2 men that was present for the robbery. The burglary. At this time, we'd ask the defendant be held at no bond.
Mr. Augusto.
And Your Honor, we would ask that the court use its discretion to set a monetary bond in this case. Mr. Williams is not a flight risk. He's lived here all his life. All his family lives here. He's worked at the same job for the last 2 years. And we would only ask that the court use its discretion in this case and set a monetary bond.
And Mr. Williams has a hold out of Seminole, too? All right, I do find proof evident presumption great for both counts 1 and 2. I'm not gonna use my discretion today to set a bond. I'm gonna set the bonds at no bonds on counts 1 and 2. You're not to return to either one, I believe. You're not to return to the location where the incident occurred. Is everyone aware of what that address is?
One second, Your Honor.
In Apopka. It's on page 3 of 11 of the arrest warrant under scene. Not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any co-defendant in the case. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. please tell me your name, sir.
Walter Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, you're here in 2018 CF 12836. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was already found for sale and delivery of cocaine. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and I'm going to stay your bond at what's listed in the warrant at $7,500. All right, sir, please tell me, oh.
That's more, Your Honor, we skipped him earlier.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Ramsey Moore.
All right, Mr. Moore, you're here in 2019 CF 4395 AO. You were arrested for throwing a deadly missile at or into an occupied vehicle. I do find probable cause for your arrest, sir. Did you fill out a form for the public defender, or were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
I hadn't filled out the paperwork yet.
Okay. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you work, sir?
Part-time.
Okay. Do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly?
It's not even that much right
Okay.
now. I'm trying to look for a new job.
Okay. How much do you take in on average per week?
I would say under $50.
Okay. I'm gonna find that you qualify for the public defender. I'm gonna appoint them to represent you. I'm going to order that you have no contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. I am going to stay the bond at the $5,000. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Todd Seeley.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Jones? Okay, we'll reset Mr. Jones. All right, Mr. Seeley, you're here in 2019 MO 5740. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause for your arrest, sir. Did you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender? You want to see if the state has an offer and maybe to resolve your case today?
Yeah, can we just resolve it, please?
Okay, let's see if they have an offer for you.
Adjudication of guilt, 3 days. He has credit for 2.
And I do have to impose court costs, Mr. Seeley. Do you want to take that offer?
Sure.
Is that a yes?
Is there any way I can leave today, like now?
Would he get out today? Yeah, you're gonna get out today,
Okay.
okay? We'll have you sign that plea form. Make sure you've read it.
Okay.
All right, you want to plea no contest, Mr. Seeley?
Yes.
All right, I'm showing you this plea form. You gotta look at me. Showing you the plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
All right. Do you know that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You're not to go back to that Advanced Auto Parts at 5687 South Cimarron Boulevard, all
Okay.
right? And I have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by April 1st, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you
Okay.
want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir, okay? Good luck
Alright.
to you.
Morning.
All right, please tell me your name.
Ram Zaire Taylor.
All right, Mr. Taylor, you're here in 2019 MO 5750. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause for your arrest, sir. I'm gonna, well, you didn't fill out a form. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you and you want to resolve it without an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's see if they have an offer.
Adjudication of guilt, credit for time served.
He has 2 days in. All right, so it's credit for time served offer. If you want to take that today, you'll be getting out.
Yes.
Okay. And you want to proceed without an attorney?
Yes.
Okay. Huh? 2. Do you want to enter a plea of no contest, Mr. Taylor?
Will it make a difference?
Well, one is that's saying that it's in your best interest, and the other one is admitting guilt, so.
Best interest?
All
I still
right.
get out today?
All right, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Mhm.
Are you on probation anywhere? All right, do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Right.
All right, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea based on the charging affidavit. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I'm going to order that you pay court costs by April 1st of 2020, okay?
How much are they?
223, okay? Gives you a year to pay them off. Okay, if you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, all right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck to you.
All right, have a good day.
You too. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Alex Burney.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Alfred? Okay, we'll take no action on Mr. Alfred. 2019 MM 27430. Mr. Burney, you're here on, you were arrested for trespass in a structure. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Burney?
I don't have a police report, so I didn't make an offer. You give me a moment to look it up, Your Honor.
Okay, do you wanna look at this one, or?
I'll pull it up in 1 second. Adjudication, 4 days, no return.
Looks like he's got 2 days in. So,
We will accept that offer, Your Honor, and plea no contest.
okay. right, Mr. Bernie, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea? Are you on probation anywhere?
Nope.
Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea, and I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You're not to return back to that Super K at 4985 West Colonial Drive. And you're to abide by any and all trespass warnings, all right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by April 1st, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off, okay? If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
sir. Good luck to you. All right, please tell me your name.
Wesley Gilbert.
Sorry?
Wesley Gilbert.
Okay. Okay, we'll reset Mr. Diaz. All right, Mr. Gilbert, you're here in 2019 MM 2727AO. You were arrested for possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams, resisting an officer without violence, and trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Gilbert?
Withhold 5 days, no return.
A withhold?
Yes.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, Mr. Gilbert would rather bond out.
Okay. All right, count one. I'm gonna set at the $250. Count two will be 100. Count three will be 100. You're not to return back to that Food Lotto store at 2060 Americana Boulevard. You're to abide by all the trespass warnings there, and you're not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses at that location, okay, Mr. Gilbert?
Okay.
Okay? And don't possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Tracy Michael.
All right, Mr. Michael, you're here in 2019 MM 2721AO. You were arrested for petty theft. I do find probable cause for the offense. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer
No,
for
Your Honor.
Mr. Michael?
No, Your Honor.
No? Okay. I'm just gonna stay the bond at the $250. You're not to return back to the Red Sea store at 18 South Orange Blossom Trail. Abide by any and all trespass warnings. Not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Not to have any contact with any witnesses or victims in the case. Okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me your name.
Luis Angel Montoya.
All right, Mr. Montoya, you're here in 2019 MM 2718 AO. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. Were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
No, ma'am.
Did you want to see if the state had an offer to resolve your case today?
There is no offer, Your Honor, but no objection to ROR.
All right, sir, I'm gonna ROR you on both counts. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender?
I mean,
Huh?
I'll take one.
Okay. Do you work?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Where do you work?
I'm a valet driver at OPS on iDrive, and also I'm a lifeguard.
Okay. How much do you get paid weekly or bi-weekly?
$11.75 as a lifeguard, and it's all tips for valet.
So how, on average, do you get paid weekly or bi-weekly or monthly?
Bi-weekly, probably like $1,200, probably every 2 weeks.
1,200 every
Yes.
2 weeks?
Yes, ma'am.
No, he's not gonna qualify. Do you have children?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You're not gonna qualify for the public defender, but I'm gonna ROR you. It's really important you listen to what I tell you, okay?
Okay.
You need to make sure that you have a current address
I do.
on file with the clerk's office.
I do.
Okay, if you move, if you move or you leave that location, you need to make sure that you update the clerk as to your address,
Okay.
okay? Because if they send you any notice and you fail to appear for any court hearing in the future, you'll probably get a warrant for your arrest.
Yes, ma'am.
That's not what you want. And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
they can hold you, we can hold you no bond, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So make sure, and if I were you, I'd probably contact an attorney, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm gonna ROR you. You're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription, okay, sir?
What's OR?
ROR, I'm releasing you on your own recognizance. That means that if you get a court date, you're saying you're gonna show up,
Oh, yes, of course.
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Fernando Perez.
All right, Mr. Perez, you're here in 2019 MM 2717 AO. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams. Were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
No, miss.
Did you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
No.
Are you represented in your other case?
Represented? What does that mean?
Do you have an attorney in your other case?
Oh, yes, I have a lawyer.
You have who?
A lawyer.
Who's your lawyer?
I forgot his name, miss. But I'm currently, like, paying down payment for him.
Nobody's filed a notice of appearance in that case, so.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
I work at U-Haul on OBT,
Okay, do you get paid weekly or bi-weekly?
bi-weekly,
How much do you get paid after taxes?
$9.50 an hour.
So what does that come out to on your paycheck?
I probably get like $380.
Okay, and that's bi-weekly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna find that you qualify for the public defender, and I'm gonna appoint them to represent you. I'm gonna appoint them to represent you in 2019 CF 2089AO as well, okay? That's the other case that you have,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? Do you want to see if the state has an offer to resolve your new law violation?
Yes,
There's
ma'am.
no offer in this case, Your Honor.
Okay.
We would ask if the court would consider ROR in this matter.
He's out on bond in burglary of a conveyance, grand theft third degree, and possession of burglary tools. So that's not gonna happen.
Excuse me, miss?
I would speak with Mr. Augusto because anything that you say can be used against you.
I
And the
understand.
prosecutor's sitting right there, okay? All right, I'm gonna order that you not possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm gonna stay your bonds on count 1 and 2 at 500 and 100. Based on your new law violation and being out on bond, I am gonna revoke your bond and set your bond at none in 2019 CF 2089AO, but Mr. Augusto can notify whoever's in Division 10 to see if they can file any appropriate motions on your behalf, okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please tell me your name.
Joshua Rodriguez.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, you're here in 2019 MM 2729AO. You were arrested for petty theft. It's a retail offense. I do find probable cause for the offense. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there an offer or no?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna stay your bond at the $500. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. You're not to return back to the Walmart at 8990 Turkey Lake Road in Orlando, Florida. Okay? All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Andre Lopez, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Lopez, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant, looks like out of Miami-Dade.
Yes, ma'am.
And the bond in that case is set at none. They have 72 hours, not including weekends, to pick you up. Is that the, is there another? Yeah, and so there's another one too. Looks like that bond is also set at none. Same thing, they have 72 hours to come and get you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me your name.
Jonathan Rivera Nieves.
All right, Mr. Rivera Nieves, you're here. You were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Osceola County.
Yep.
Looks like the judge set your bonds at $2,000, $2,000, and $1,000. So Osceola County has 24 hours to come and pick you up, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Please tell me your name.
Kevin Rosario.
Mr. Rosario, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Pasco County. Looks like the judge in that case set your bond at $10,000, so Pasco County has 72 hours to come and get you, okay?
Okay.
That does not include weekends, okay?
Okay.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Scott Williamson.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Carrillo? Okay.
We would waive, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, how many times has he been reset, do we know? Or-
I think this is the second time, at
Okay.
least.
So, I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Carrillo in both cases in 2019 CF 4366AO and 2019 CF 4340AO. He's charged with attempted first-degree murder with a weapon. I do find probable cause for the offense. I believe that's a PBL.
Yes, Your Honor. We'd
Okay.
ask the defendant be held at no bond based on the affidavit by Deputy McGuire, where the defendant, allegations are that he stabbed the victim at a 7-Eleven store off of Cimarron.
Mr. Augusto?
Your Honor, we would only ask that the court uses discretion. My client has no prior convictions, no prior failure to appear, so he's not a flight risk, and he has family here, and he lives in Florida as well.
All right, I do find proof evident, presumption great based on the charging affidavit. I'm gonna order him to be held no bond on that case. He's not to return back to the 7-Eleven store at 1201 North Cimarron Boulevard in Orlando, Florida. He's not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses in that case. He's not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. In 2019 CF 4340AO, he's charged with attempted burglary of a dwelling and criminal mischief. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I'm gonna order that he not return back to that residence that's listed in the affidavit. He's not to have any contact with any witnesses or victims in the case. He's not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. The bond on count 1 will be set at $10,000, count 2, $100. And I did appoint the public defender on both cases. Okay.
We'd ask that this case not be reset. It's been reset since the 29th, Your Honor. Or the 28th, excuse me.
All right, 2019 CF 4297AO, Adrian Preston. He's charged with grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, and resisting an officer without violence. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Do you wanna waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor, we'll waive.
Okay, so the PD is waiving his appearance. I do find probable cause for grand theft, third degree, and resisting an officer without violence. He's not to return back to 5450 Clark-Key Boulevard, those apartment complexes. He's not to have any contact with any listed witness or victim in the case. I'm gonna set the bond at 2,500 on count 1 and 100 on count 2. Is this Mr. Williamson?
Yes,
Thank you for your patience. Thank you. Oh, is this a different one? Huh? Yeah, it's just thicker, so I didn't know if there's a bunch of other stuff in here. Oh, okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Williamson, you're here in 2019 MM 2706AO. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for the offense. Did you want to see if you qualify for the public defender? You didn't fill out a form, so.
I just wanted to see, could I wrap this up today, or is it?
I don't know, but does the state have an offer?
There was offer conveyed, I guess, yesterday, adjudication of guilt, credit for time served.
And so, do we know how many days he has in? 3 days, so it's credit for time served offer, and I do have to impose court costs. Is that something you want to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah.
What happened to Exantis? He's a felon.
All right, Mr. Williamson, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation? Okay. I do find a factual basis based on the charging affidavit in the court file. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 3 days time served. I am gonna order court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by April 1st, 2020. Gives you a year to pay them off, okay?
ma'am. Yep.
If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not gonna take any action today on the case you're out on bond, but if I see you again, your bond is likely gonna get revoked
Okay,
in that
appreciate it.
case.
I appreciate that.
So,
So it was the wrong place at the wrong time.
well,
so I'm
don't
understand.
say anything about anything on the record,
Okay.
but you're lucky today.
Thank you.
Is this Mr. Skyver? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, 2019 MM 2284AO. Looks like we have a motion for Mr. Skyver. I'm gonna pull up the case. So he has like the court set his bond at mental health pretrial release. That's what it says on the IA court minutes.
I can have a moment to check, Your Honor.
Is that correct? Okay, so he did not qualify.
Okay.
So he has a $100 bond on count 1 and a $500 bond on count 2. All right, Mr. Augusto, it's your motion.
Yes, Your Honor. We would first ask whether the state has any objection to this motion.
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, we would like to rely mainly on the face of this motion, the motion for non-monetary release conditions. My client has been in jail since March 16th for these 2 offenses and has not been able to afford the bail. We would like to swear him in if the court would hear it.
Yep, sure. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Skeever, is that how you pronounce it? Skeever?
Skyber.
Skyver. Okay. Mr. Skyver, have you been here since March 16th? Is that correct?
I have been.
Okay. You don't have to keep your hand.
Okay.
Okay. Have you made an attempt to post the bail on this case?
I don't have the money.
Okay. Do you have any family or friends that may be able to help you?
I don't know how to get a hold of them.
Okay. Have you made any attempt to contact a bondsman or one of your friends and family to help you?
No.
If you were released today, would you have a reliable means of transportation to these court dates that you were given?
Yes, I take the bus.
Take the bus? Okay. And would you promise to attend all future court dates?
Yes, I do.
And do you work?
No.
Okay. How do you have any income?
I got to get my SS Social Security and SSD Social Security disability back on.
Okay.
I got to get that back on.
So just to clarify, you used to have Social Security income, but it's no longer.
I got to get it. I got to make a file to get it back on.
Okay. And is that what you plan on doing if you are released today?
Yes.
Okay. And no further questions, Your Honor.
Have you you've had the public defender's office appointed since you came through initial appearance, Mr. Skyper?
Yeah, Christy Fekany.
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to speak to her? Not what you spoke about, but have you had the opportunity to speak to her since you've been incarcerated?
I met with her.
No further questions, just argument.
All right, do we have I don't have a face sheet for him. Do we have a criminal history or?
He has one felony conviction, 4 misdemeanors. His felony convictions consist of petty theft, burglary, several trespassing. He has 5 other state offenses in which he have convictions of assault, disorderly conduct, failure to comply, and disturbing. Out-of-state arrests, several trespasses, assault and battery, several robberies, false information, public nuisance, fail to pay, throw substance at vehicle, misuse transit ticket, dumping hazards, exhibit deadly weapons, indecent knives, several sexual abuse, 2 harassments, and force and touch. And he has an active warrant in California at this time for assault, but they're not going to extradite.
Does he have any failures to appear?
No.
Your Honor, state would object to reducing his bond or setting it at ROR. In 2019, he's pled on January 25th. He received 5 days. On February 27th, he received 25 days. On March the 4th, he received 7 days. Within a week of his release, he's picked up another new law offense, and that's just in 2019. He said he's spoken to his public defender, but then he stated he did not know how to contact any family members. Obviously, speaking to his public defender, he could have given any phone numbers. Public defender's office has the ability to make local and international phone calls. That has not been done. I think based on his continuing to commit crimes, at least in 2019, that the bond is appropriate as set.
Mr. Augusto, final word.
Your Honor, we would just rely on the face of the motion for the rest of our argument.
I don't find that the bond is an inappropriate bond or unreasonable bond based on the charges and what I'm reading in the affidavit and based on his criminal history, and therefore the motion will be denied. All right, and we also have a competency. Okay. Do you want to handle this without her? I
Yes,
don't
Your
think we need her for this.
Yes.
I reviewed the motion. You may want to talk to your counterpart who filed it. So this is 2019 MM 1961AO, and it's Sharma McLaughlin?
I believe so.
McLaughlin? Okay. There's a motion to adopt the finding of incompetence in placing defendant on conditional release, and then a motion that defense counsel has reasonable grounds to believe defendant's not competent to proceed and requesting a hearing. In the motion that you have reasonable grounds to believe that she's not competent, Mr. Frederick cites that there was a confidential evaluation done on the defendant on September 29, 2018, which now, as of Friday, is stale.
Okay.
After a 6-month period, an evaluation becomes stale. I know that she has a status hearing or a hearing today with Judge McGinnis, and that is in the case cited, which didn't give a specific case number, but it's cited in the other motion, which that she was found incompetent and placed on conditional release on December 18, 2018. That case number is 2018 MM 176AE, which is not cited in the motion. She was also found incompetent to proceed in 2 cases in front of Judge Cameron. That's 2018 MM 4944AO and 2018 MM 8044AO. She's set for status hearings on April 8th in those 2 cases, which are not alleged in the motion. She additionally was picked up on a new law violation not that long ago because she just pled on the 14th to a trespass in 2019. I believe I had the case. Oh, 2018 MM 10659. She pled on March 14th, 2019 to a trespass in a structure. So she's got a competency hearing today. She's got a status hearing on 2 cases on the 8th. And she just pled to a new law violation and then picked up this new law violation. I'm not going to adopt a report that was done over 6 months ago. Based on the case law, I'm not permitted to do that. So I did email Judge McGinnis and Judge Cameron about their cases to find out what's going on, because when I look at the conditional release plan, in the first case, Judge McGinnis's case, there is no conditional release plan. She's not in any program. The evaluation by Dr. Tate indicated that she needed to be Baker acted and then put on medication and then placed into the Lakeside restoration program because she'd had an open case there at that time. None of that I can tell from any court minutes in any of those other 3 cases has been done. And as far as I'm concerned, she's not even on a plan. So if you have reasonable grounds to believe that she's not competent to proceed, that's fine. I mean, I can do a written order and order that Dr. Tate reevaluate her. But that very well may be what's going to happen in the other cases.
Right, okay.
And there's a hearing that's happening right now.
Right.
So, I don't know if you want me to not take any action right now, and you can speak with the attorney that's handling the case that she has with Judge McGinnis today to find out. I mean, I emailed them on Friday when I got the motion, and I never heard back. They just may not have received the email and then maybe waiting to finish their hearing today.
Right.
But I'm not going to adopt any findings that was, you know, that are now
6 months
stale.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and it appears as though she's not on any conditional release plan other than not possessing drugs or alcohol, or
Right.
doesn't even say in those conditional release plans where she'll live. I know that there is an indication in the motion that we're here today where she'd live, but there's nothing in those motions that tell me where she's reporting, who she's reporting to, how often, if they're supposed to provide a update to the court and when, if she's receiving any treatment, if she's been restored, because Dr. Tate said she could be restored within 6 months, and 6 months was Friday. So, we can just take no action, and we can readdress it again when you've maybe talked with
Yeah, I'll
them
send
to
an
find
email.
out
Yes,
what's
Your Honor.
going on.
I will do.
Maybe
Thank
that's
you.
a better idea, because I'm happy to order Dr. Tate to reevaluate her, because I think that that's what I would have to do, and then get an updated report, so.
Okay.
So we'll take no action based on everything that I've placed on the record, and Mr. Augusto, you can reset it once
we'll
you
reset.
get the information, and then we can readdress it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Did you get all those case numbers and everything?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
just want to make sure you have them so that you know. Okay. And now we are on to the 33-day motions. It looks like 2019 CF 2577AO. This was filed by attorney George Gibralt.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day this morning.
That will be granted. And now we're on to, these are probably the PD's motions. So 2019 CF 2778AO, James Johnstone.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 3/29.
Two 2019 CF 2610AO, Patrick Antonio Gray.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 3/29.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 1840AO, Traylon Marquise Lee.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 3/29.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 2881AO, Livingston Doddard.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 3/29.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 2798AO, Alfonso Noble Jr.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 3/29.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 2835AO, Brian Jody Bostick.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 3/29.
That will will be granted. Excuse me. 2019 CF 2940AO, Timothy Allen Hauge.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 329.
That'll be denied. 2019 CF 2886AO, Frederick Charles Cardy.
That should be granted. The state filed an that should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 329.
All right, that will be granted. 2019 CF 2870AO, Lawrence Stephen Turnist.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 329.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 2790AO, Nevin Richard Smith.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 329.
That will be denied. 2018 CF 17602AO, Devonte Alexander Ortiz.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 329.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 2879AO, Dontavius Jamal Frazier.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 329.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 2779AO, Daryl Evan Bradshaw.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 329.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 2887AO, Terrence Datavius Garnett.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing on the 33rd day on 329.
Did you say granted?
Granted.
Sorry. That will be granted. 2019 CF 2553AO, Ray Jean Blair Jr.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 329.
All right, that will be granted.
Your Honor, I had one case that we didn't address, Nastaki Extus. It's courtroom 2. Okay, then. Got it.
All right, and we're in recess until this afternoon.
Your Honor, the Spanish interpreter is connected whenever you're ready.
All right, we are on the record. It's April 1st, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 2. Can I have the parties please announce themselves for the record?
Coffee Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
And Alexis Augusto on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you please state your name?
Sí, ahora le escucho un poco. ¿Puede subir el volumen? Ok. Noel Díaz. Noel Díaz.
Noel Diaz.
All right, Mr. Diaz, you're here in 2019, CF 4446AO. You were arrested for possession of tetrahydrocannabinols, possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause for your arrest for those offenses. In 2019 CT 2538, you were arrested for driving while license suspended. I do find probable cause for the offense. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. In 2019 CF 4446 AO, I'm gonna order that you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm gonna stay your bond at $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. Oh, my pen's not working. And in 2019 CT 2538 I'm gonna stay the bond at $500. You're not to drive without a valid license in that case. And you're out on bond in 2019 MM2390 AO. I am gonna revoke the bond, however, I am going to, do we know what the individual bonds are? Okay, let me just see. Has that been charged, or?
The out-of-bond case has been charged, Your Honor. It's charged as a possession of cannabis less than 20 grams and a possession of paraphernalia with an arraignment date set for 4/3. Obviously, it'll have to be reset if he's in custody.
Right. And you said the bonds were? Okay. But it was 20, I'm gonna double that bond to $2,000. Well, he wasn't arrested on the other one.
Once they file the information, though, it'll be 2 counts now.
Okay, so, but I don't have a bond on the other count, right?
Correct, because he was out, but once you revoke
Right.
it, now you have to set it on both counts.
On
'cause-
both counts,
yes.
okay. It'll be $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. And then I'm not gonna reset any arraignment dates. All right. All right, good afternoon, sir. Please tell me your name.
Orlin.
What's your last name, sir?
Ordóñez.
Ordóñez.
Okay, Mr. Ordonez, you're here in 2019 CF 4442 AO. You were arrested for leaving the scene of a crash with injuries. I do find probable cause for your arrest. You do not qualify for the public defender because you make too much money, so I cannot appoint them to represent you. I'm going to order that you have no contact with any victim or witness listed in the affidavit for arrest warrant.
Okay.
You're not to drive without a valid driver's license.
Okay.
And I am gonna stay your bond at the $2,500. And, we'll set him for a determination at council hearing within a week if He hasn't bonded out yet.
¿Puedo hacer una pregunta?
May I ask a question?
Sure. Don't talk about the facts of your case, sir.
No, no. Si pagan mi fianza hoy, ¿puedo salir hoy?
If I were to post the bond today, will I be allowed to get out today?
Yes?
Pero necesito hacer una llamada a mi familiar para que lo hagan.
But I would need to be able to call a family member so that they could do it.
Okay, you should have access to a telephone.
Ok, quiero hacer la llamada para que ellos paguen la fianza.
Okay, I want to be allowed to make a phone call so that they can post the bond.
Okay, well, you should have access to a telephone.
Gracias. Gracias.
Thank you.
I gave 2 cases that were DD cases to Judge Carter, so she may have them. I don't remember what they were, but I gave them to my JA to give to them, so. If they're not in there, then they were given to them already, in 2.
Marvin, that's the only one? Yes.
Yeah, I told my JA, and so I just gave them to them. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Marcos Ortiz.
Marcos Ortiz.
All right, Mr. Ortiz, you're here in 2018 CF 9826AO. You were arrested pursuant to an arrest warrant for accessory after the fact to a second-degree felony. Probable cause has already been found. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to order that you not return back to the scene of the offense where this occurred. It's listed in the affidavit for the arrest warrant. Mr. Augusto, can you make sure that he knows what that address is? And I'm going to order that you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription or any alcohol. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case, anybody mentioned in the affidavit. And I will stay the bond at the $2,500. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Johnny Gonzalez.
Johnny Gonzalez.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, you're here in 2019 CT 2543AO. You were arrested for driving while license suspended. I do find probable cause for that offense. In 2019 CF 4458AO, you were arrested for DUI with 2 prior convictions. This makes your 3rd DUI within 10 years. I do find probable cause for the offense. You do not qualify for the Public Defender's Office because you make too much money, so I cannot appoint them to you at this time. So you should contact an attorney. In 2019 CT 2543AO, I'm going to stay the bond at the $500. In 2019 CF 4458AO, Your bond is set at $5,000. You're not to drive without a valid license. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal substances without a valid prescription.
Sí, yo digo así, sí gano ese dinero, pero yo estoy,
We'll,
¿cómo le llaman?
we'll set him
No
for,
es, fijo.
I'd like to say that though I do earn that money, it's not a fixed income.
okay, sir, you put on, how much do you make per month?
Póngale entre unos 3,000.
About 3,000.
Okay, well, it has 4,500 down here. Did you tell somebody that?
Sí. Sí, a la muchacha que estaba afuera, porque lo que pasa es que me debían un dinero y ese dinero está en el banco. Lo metí al banco.
Yes, so the lady that was outside, the thing is I was owed that money and that money was put in the bank.
So you have $4,500.
No, porque ya pagué mi renta. Por pagar renta,
No.
los seguros.
Because I used it to pay the rent and insurance.
Okay. How much do you make per, do you get paid weekly or bi-weekly or monthly?
I only have this thing. Yeah, that's the only thing I have.
A cada 2 semanas, a cada 3 semanas, a cada mes. No hay un sueldo fijo.
I don't have a fixed income. I could be paid every week. I could be paid every 2 weeks. I could be paid once a month.
Okay. On average, if you can estimate, how much do you make per month? You said $3,000. Is that correct? Is that on average?
Sí. No, es lo máximo que gano por mes.
No, that's the most I can ever earn per month.
Okay, well, I need you to give me an estimate of what you make per month.
Sí, eso es lo que gano. 3,000.
That amount, 3,000.
Okay. Do you have any children?
Una bebé y 3 hijastras.
A baby and 3 stepdaughters.
Yo los
They-
mantengo.
How old are your stepdaughters?
11, 10 y 3 años. Mi bebé tiene 18 meses.
Do they live with you?
11, 10, and 3 years old. My baby is 18 months old.
Okay. Do they all live with you?
Sí.
Okay.
Sí, yo los mantengo.
Yes.
I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Based on your testimony, we'll put that in the court minutes. Mr. Augusto, do you need me to repeat the bonds?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Okay, so in the Duelis case, it's $500. And in the DUI case, I believe I stated at $5,000. It's not to drive without a valid license. He's not to possess or consume any illegal substances or any alcohol without a prescription. Okay? The headphones on him.
Señor, póngase los audífonos.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Vistalino Maldonado Lopez.
All right, sir, you're here for an arraignment. The state filed an information charging you with count 1, resisting an officer without violence. It's a misdemeanor of the 1st degree, and loitering or prowling, count 2. It's a misdemeanor of the 2nd degree. It's alleged to have occurred on or about the 11th day of December 2017. Is there an offer for Mr. Maldonado? He has Looks like 13 days in.
The offer conveyed was an adjudication of guilt, 15 days, no return to a COE tire and service, cost of investigation of $128.07 to a COE PD.
And he has an immigration hold? Okay. Do you want to enter a plea? Okay, we'll enter a plea of not guilty for you, sir, and we'll give you some dates.
Division 84, pretrial conference date, April 18th, 8:45 a.m., courtroom 4B.
I'm sorry, just to verify, because the individual is far from a mic. Could you repeat the dates again?
April 18th, 8:45 a.m., 4B.
Am I going to be deported?
You just have an immigration hold, sir. You have a detainer, okay? Do we have any more Spanish interpreter cases?
Yes, we have victims that need interpreters.
Your Honor, could I please have the case number for this individual?
17 MM 1277 AW.
Thank you.
I have two cases, a Ramones and a Discal, that need, the victims, I guess, need the interpreter.
What is the first one?
I don't know what order, the Ramones is first, Jose. 19M2724.
Ramones, and then what's the second one?
Discal, Discua. So the victim needs the interpreter. And she was downstairs. I don't know if she,
So I haven't read these yet.
and then we have a Russian as well.
I know, but I just, it would be nice if I could read these things before I come to court, so that, I mean, because they're long, so. This is a domestic okay, Spanish interpreter. Okay, I'm gonna need some time to read these. With the, and so we'll just have to have the interpreter stay on the line. Which one is the Russian? The Discua?
No.
Oh. there's a
Ipimov.
Russian. Nobody is giving me these. I know, but it's. Okay, who do we have first?
Ramones.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Good afternoon, Judge. My name's Jose. Oh,
Is your last name Ramones? All right, sir. You're here in 2019 MM 2724AO. You were arrested for battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause for the offense. Did you fill out a form for the public defender?
yeah. I
Okay,
think.
I don't have one.
Does he have the public defender form over there?
Does that say 2,800 a month?
25.
2,500? Okay. So 2,500 a month. Do you have any children?
No.
Okay. I don't, will he qualify? No, you're not gonna qualify for the public defender, sir. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you don't qualify for the public defender, so I cannot appoint them at this time, okay, sir?
But the thing is, I just came back to work though, so I'm not making that money. That's what I was making probably 2 months
Okay.
ago. I just came back from
I know, but when you fill out a form like that and it asks you what you make,
yeah. But the honest truth, I just came back to work. But I do make that much. But right now, I just came back. I've been off work for 3 months.
okay, how long have you been working?
Since I came back like probably 3 weeks ago.
Okay, but you are making that money per month?
Yeah. I
Okay,
guess.
you do not qualify for the public defender. And we do have a witness here. You need a Spanish interpreter, sir?
Yeah, appreciate it.
So we'll have to have you sworn in.
Raise your right hand.
Levante la mano derecha.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
¿Jura decir la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad? ¿Lo jura ante Dios?
Sí.
Yes.
Please state your name for the record.
Díganos su nombre, por favor, para que conste en actas.
Víctor Ramones.
Victor Ramones. ¿Puede bajar la mano?
Mr. Ramones, how do you know Jose Ramones?
Señor Ramones, ¿de dónde conoce usted a José Ramones?
Es mi hijo.
He is my son.
Are you afraid of Mr. Ramones?
¿Usted le tiene temor al señor Ramones?
No.
No.
Would you like contact with him while this case is pending?
Mientras que esta causa esté abierta, ¿desea usted seguir teniendo contacto con él?
Sí, porque es mi hijo.
Yes. Because he's my son.
Do you two live together?
¿Viven juntos, ustedes dos?
No, pero
No.
sí hemos pasado mucho tiempo juntos.
But we do spend a lot of time together.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
¿Algo semejante a esto ha pasado antes en el pasado?
No.
No.
If something happened in the future, would you feel comfortable in calling the police or 911?
Si fuera a ocurrir algo en el futuro, ¿se sentiría usted lo suficientemente cómodo para llamar a la policía o al 911?
Sí, si es necesario, sí, pero no lo creo.
Yes, if it were necessary, I would, but I don't think so.
Were drugs or alcohol related to this situation?
¿Hubo alcohol o drogas relacionado en esta situación?
Que yo sepa, no.
Not that I know of.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Augusto? Oh, you're not representing him, okay. All right, Mr. Ramones, if I released your son into the pretrial release program where he would not have to post a bond, would you be okay with that?
Señor Ramones, si yo fuera a poner en libertad a su hijo a través de un programa de libertad provisional donde no le tocaría a él tener que depositar una fianza, ¿usted estaría bien con eso?
Sí, muy de acuerdo.
Yes, very much in agreement.
Okay. All right, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna order that there's no hostile or violent contact. Okay?
Lo que voy a ordenar aquí es que no voy a ordenar que no se permita ningún tipo de contacto hostil o violento.
So that means no pushing, no shoving, no punching, no inappropriate, unwanted contact.
Yeah.
Esto significa que no se puede empujar, no se puede dar puños, no puede haber ningún tipo de contacto inapropiado.
That means that if you even raise your voice, that's inappropriate and a violation of the order.
Yes, ma'am.
Esto significa que, aunque usted fuera a levantar la voz, eso sería un acto inapropiado y con ello estaría usted incumpliendo la orden judicial.
Okay? You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition.
Prohibido tenencia de armas, armas de fuego o munición.
And I know you don't live together, but I'm going to order you maintain separate residences still, okay?
Sé que no viven juntos, pero voy a ordenar que estén prohibido convivir bajo el mismo techo.
And I'm going to order you into the pretrial release program where you won't have to post a bond, but you need to meet with them face-to-face once a week.
Voy a ordenar que usted sea puesto en libertad provisional. Esto significa que no tendría que depositar una fianza en efectivo, pero sí cada semana tendría usted que reportarse en persona.
And follow any of their requirements, okay?
Y acatarse a cada uno de los requisitos que tengan ellos.
And then you need to make sure that the clerk of the court has a correct address on file for you so that any notices that are sent will get sent to the proper address, okay?
Yes, sir.
Y tiene que asegurarse que ante la Secretaría del Juzgado usted ha presentado su dirección actual para que conste en el expediente y así cualquier notificación que se mande lo reciba usted a esa dirección.
If you move, you need to update them.
Yes.
Si usted se muda, tiene que dejarles saber.
And then you may want to contact an attorney, okay?
Y tiene que comunicarse usted con un abogado.
Okay?
That was PTR.
Yeah. PTR, and it was no hostile or violent contact, and maintain separate residences,
I got all I just didn't hear the PTR.
and no weapons or firearms or ammunition. Okay? All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Juan Disqua.
All right, Mr. Disqua, and Madam Interpreter, we do have a witness here who I believe needs the services of the interpreter. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand, ma'am?
Señora, levante la mano derecha.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura decir la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad. ¿Lo jura ante Dios?
Sí, lo juro.
Okay.
Ya serio.
Please state your name for the record.
Diga su nombre para que conste en el registro, señora, por favor.
Mi nombre es Judinet Santa María.
My name is Judinet Santa Maria.
Oh, I'm not ready for her testimony yet. So, Mr. Disquia, you're here in 2019 CF 4435AO. And you were arrested for aggravated assault, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. Madam Interpreter, could you just interpret for the victim so she understands?
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I thought I understood. Could you repeat the charges again for the interpreter?
Sure, it's case number 2019 CF 4435AO. And it's aggravated assault, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence.
Las acusaciones en contra de él son intimidación calificada por violencia doméstica y agresión física por violencia doméstica.
And I do find probable cause for those offenses.
Determino que existe indicio de criminalidad para sustentar esos ilícitos.
And you do not qualify for the public defender.
Y sepa que él no cualifica para un defensor público.
Because you make too much money.
Ya que gana demasiado dinero.
Ms. Kennedy Swanson, do you want to inquire of the witness?
Yes, Ms. Santa Maria, how do you know the defendant?
Dígame, señora, ¿de dónde conoce usted al acusado?
En el trabajo.
From work.
Are you afraid of him?
¿Usted le tiene temor?
Sí.
Yes. Would you like contact with him while this case is pending?
¿Desea seguir teniendo contacto con él mientras que esta causa esté abierta?
No.
No.
Do the two of you live together?
¿Ustedes dos viven bajo el mismo techo?
Sí.
Yes.
No further questions.
All right, I'm gonna order that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. I'm gonna have
Voy a
you
ordenar que esté prohibido tener contacto, sea directa o indirecta, con la víctima en esta causa.
I'm gonna have you sign that no contact order form.
Voy a hacer que usted firme la orden de prohibición de contacto.
All right, Mr. Gisquia, did you understand everything contained within the no contact order form?
Yes, ma'am.
Señor, ¿usted entendió todo lo que consta en ese formulario de prohibición de contacto?
Sí.
And that was a yes, you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so no phone
Sí.
calls, no emails, no text messaging, no social media, and no communication through a third party, you understand?
Yes, ma'am, no problem.
No puede llamar, no puede mandar correos electrónicos, ni mensajes de texto, ni comunicarse con ella a través de medios sociales, ni hacer que un tercero se comunique con ella.
You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition.
Prohibido armas, armas de fuego o municiones.
You are to maintain separate residences.
Prohibido convivir bajo el mismo techo.
You're not to have any contact with any of the witnesses mentioned in the affidavit as well.
Prohibido ningún tipo de contacto con los testigos que estén mencionados en el affidavit.
And you're not to return back to the residence listed in the affidavit.
Y prohibido regresar a la residencia que consta en el affidavit.
And I am going to set your bond on count 1 at $5,000.
Se fija la fianza en $5,000 con respecto al primer cargo
And $500 on count 2.
y $500 con respecto al segundo cargo.
Sorry, Your Honor. The first count, how much was that?
5,000.
5,000.
State, were there any other conditions?
No, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, we would also.
You're not appointed.
Oh.
Just letting you know. He
Okay.
doesn't qualify for the PD.
I
But
see.
if there's something that you want to ask as a friend of the court,
I'm assuming he may need a one-time return to pick
okay.
up.
Does he need a one-time return? Okay. You can do it. And I'm going to allow you to go back one time with law enforcement to pick up any of your belongings. You have to call them ahead of time, and they have to accompany you, okay?
Voy a permitir que usted pueda ir una vez acompañado por un agente policial para ir a recoger sus pertenencias. Tiene que llamarlos primero de antemano para que ellos le acompañen.
Okay. Do you think you'll be able to bond out, sir? Because if not, I'll set you for determination of counsel
What is that?
to make sure that you have an attorney.
Oh, no. I'm gonna get bonded out as soon as I'm just waiting for you to post my bond, so you can give me a bond so I can get posted.
Right. I just need to make sure. I don't want you sitting in there without an attorney.
Right.
Okay.
I have a question. You said I can't go home, right? But she moved out last night. I have a witness that I called my landlord last night, and he said that she took everything out of my house. So why can't I'm just wondering, why can't I go home if she does not live there no more?
Okay.
Su señoría, usted dijo que no estoy permitido regresar a la vivienda, pero yo tengo entendido que ella se marchó anoche. Tengo un testigo, el dueño de la propiedad, que me ha indicado que ella se ha llevado todo. Entonces yo quiero saber por qué yo no puedo regresar.
No me he llevado todo, todavía me quedan pertenencias ahí porque me da miedo que él me haga algo. Entonces a mí me mandaron para Harvard House.
I didn't take everything out. I left things here. I left things there. I am in fear of him, and that's why I'm staying at Harbor House.
Okay, but you still live at that residence. Your stuff is still there.
Usted sigue viviendo en esa residencia, es decir, sus cosas siguen estando ahí, ¿no?
Sí, correcto.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So I'm going to keep the conditions in place,
That's
okay?
fine.
But you can go back with law enforcement one time to get your things,
For
okay?
example, if I get out today, can I do it today?
If you are able to get in touch with law enforcement and they accompany you, you can go with them whenever they arrange for that, okay?
Fine, thank you.
Voy a seguir las condiciones tal cual. Usted está prohibido regresar a convivir en esa vivienda, pero se le permitirá una vez a regresar al hogar acompañado por un agente policial. Se me permite hacerlo hoy, si salgo hoy, solo si usted logra comunicarse con la policía y ellos pueden coordinarlo.
Okay, thank you for your testimony, ma'am.
Bien, gracias por su testimonio, señora.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if the interpreter is no longer needed, may she disconnect?
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I haven't read it yet. I don't, they just gave it to me, so. Oh, she's on the line, okay. Do we have, is that, Mr. Efimov? Okay. So we'll have to recall that. All right, we're gonna have to recall it because the interpreter hung up, okay?
Next, we're gonna recall it, the Paul interpreter.
Russian.
Good afternoon. Hello?
Yeah.
Hi, are you the interpreter? Are you Russian?
Yes, I am the interpreter. I just got afraid that I got scared that I got disconnected, so
Okay.
therefore I just wanted to double check.
Okay, have you been sworn in, ma'am?
Yes, I have.
Okay. We have the defendant in front of us. I'm just gonna indicate, can you tell me what your name is, sir?
Дмитрий Efimov.
Здравствуйте, напротив переводчика. Будьте любезны, сообщите ваше имя, фамилию.
Алена Ефимова.
I think it's just the victim that needs the interpreter.
Yeah, it's just the victim that needs the interpreter. In 2019 MM 2742AO, you were arrested for battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause for the offense, sir. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
2019 вы арестовали вследствие нападения и насильственных действий по отношению к домочадцам, поэтому я считаю это вероятным условием, и поэтому хочу назначить для вас общественного защитника.
All right. Can you ask the victim, ma'am, to raise her right hand to be sworn in?
Поднимите, пожалуйста, свою правую руку для того, чтобы вас привести к присяге.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Вы клянетесь, что вы скажете правду, и только правду, и ничего, кроме правды.
Yes. Yes.
Speak into the microphone.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. Please state your name for the record.
Для записи сообщите ваше имя, фамилию.
Алена Ефимова.
Алена Ефимова.
Ms. Efimov, how do you know the defendant?
Госпожа Ефимова, как вы знаете, подзащитного.
Это мой муж.
That's my husband.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Ma'am, let the
Вы
interpreter
боитесь его?
interpret first before answering the question.
Дайте переводчику перевести перед тем, как ответить.
Are you afraid of him?
Вы боитесь его?
Нет, я его не боюсь.
No, I am not afraid of him.
Would you like to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Пока ваше дело находится в процессе разбирательства, вы хотели бы с ним продолжать?
I'm sorry, did you say yes?
I didn't hear
Would you
anything.
like to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Вы хотите продолжать с ним общение на весь период разбирательства этого дела?
Да, я хочу, чтобы он вернулся домой. Вчера произошла ошибка.
Yes, I want him to go back home, and it was a mistake yesterday.
Would you like to let him live with you while this case is pending?
Вы хотите, чтобы он продолжал проживать с вами, пока идет разбирательство другого дела?
Я хочу, чтобы он вернулся домой ко мне и к сыну.
I want him to come back to me and my son.
Do you know someone by the name of Greg Kraskovi?
Вы знаете лицо под именем Грег Краскови?
Yes.
No further questions.
Больше вопросов нет.
Who is that?
Another attorney, Your Honor, that reached out today.
Huh?
An attorney that had reached out to us today.
Oh, okay, okay. I wasn't seeing that person
No.
listed, so I wasn't sure. Okay, Mr. Augusto, do you have any questions?
No, we do not, Your Honor. We would just ask that you allow contact in light of today's testimony.
Ma'am, was the child witness what happened?
Ребенок был очевидцем происшедшего.
Yes.
Okay.
So can I say? Он был в другой комнате.
He was in a different room.
Sorry?
He was in a different room.
She's saying the child was in a different room.
Okay. Okay. This is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to allow there's contact. It's non-hostile and non-violent.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Interpreter?
Значит, я дам разрешение на общение, потому что это не враждебные отношения
Okay.
и не насильственные отношения.
So no pushing, no shoving, no slapping, no raising your voice at her.
Yes, ma'am.
Не поднимайте руки, не значит, толкайте, не пихайтесь и не поднимайте свой голос на нее и пощечины не даете. Да, Ваша честь.
You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition.
Вам не разрешается иметь при себе, владеть оружием, боеприпасами и огнестрельным оружием.
You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal substances without a valid prescription.
Okay.
И вам не разрешается употреблять алкоголь или же незаконные субстанции, которые не выданы вам по назначению врача.
And I am going to set your bond at $500.
И ваш залог на выпуск будет $500.
Okay?
Can I say something?
I don't know if you have if she has Madam Interpreter, can you let her know if she has a question to say it out loud?
Если у вас имеются вопросы, пожалуйста, говорите.
Я хотела сказать, что мы приехали сюда в отпуск, и мы просто совершили вчера ошибку. Мы приехали ребенка вывести погулять. Все, что вчера случилось, это была ошибка, которую мы допустили с ним. И вы можете спросить моего сына, он никогда не видел ничего подобного в доме.
Okay, I just want to let you know that we came here for a vacation, and this whatever happened yesterday was a mistake. We just brought the child to a tour around here, and you can even ask my son, who would testify that nothing of that kind happened ever before.
Okay. I allowed contact, non-hostile, non-violent contact, and I set some conditions, and then I gave him a bond, okay?
Хорошо, я уже установила, какие имеются условия и продолжение общения, и также сказала по поводу залога на выпуск из тюрьмы.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I believe that concludes our need for your services. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Your Honor. We appreciate your business. Goodbye.
Thank you. Okay, we'll reset Floyd. All right. We will reset Francois. All right, are you Mr. Randall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you're here in 2019 CF 4454AO. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and battery. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm gonna order that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim listed in the affidavit. You're not to have any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. I am gonna stay the bond at $2,500 on count 1 and $500 on count 2.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Chandra Waldrop.
All right, ma'am. You're here in 2019 CF 4448AO. You were arrested for burglary to an unoccupied structure, possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and you're not to return back to the scene at 4200 South Orange Blossom Trail, which I believe is the area of 42nd Street and South Orange Blossom Trail, that fenced area. I'm gonna stay the bonds on count 1 at $2,500, count 2 $150, count 3 $100, count 4 $100. You're also out on bond for similar offenses, or you were ROR'd, and I'm revoking that release in 2019 CF 2305AO and setting that at none. Please tell me your name, sir. Did Mr. Zaria bond out? He bonded. Okay. We'll take no action on him. He bonded. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Ma'am.
Tell me your name. Can you hear me? Do you need
Jeffrey.
headphones?
Jeffrey Finley.
Mr. Finley? Okay, do we know what happened with Mr. Jones? Huh? Oh, he was released? Okay, we'll take no action on that. Mr. Finley, you're here in 2019 MO 576AO. You were arrested for an open container violation. Do you, I do find probable cause. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you to resolve your case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there an offer for Mr. Finley?
I'm coming, Your Honor. Adjudication, 3 days.
And you have 2. Does that mean he gets out today? Okay, so you'd be You'd be getting out today, sir. If you want to plea, it would be an adjudication of guilt, 3 days, credit for 2 days, but it looks like you'll be getting out today. Thank you. Do you want to plea no contest, Mr. Finley?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to proceed without an attorney? Are you okay with that?
Ma'am?
You okay with going forward without being represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you feel comfortable entering a plea without a counsel? Okay. I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form? Is that a yes? You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? I can't hear you. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form? Did you understand everything that was contained within this plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served, and I have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 1st, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Good luck to you, Mr. Finley.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please tell me your name.
Jeremy Tyler Roberts, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Roberts, you're here in 2019 CO 368AO. You were arrested for soliciting without a permit. I do find probable cause, and I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Roberts?
Adjudication, 5 days.
Okay. Is that something you're interested in?
Yes. Yeah.
And I do have to impose court costs.
And we will accept that offer, Your Honor, and plead no
Okay.
contest.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Roberts, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes,
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
I do.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
I do.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No,
Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
I do.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. I have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 1st, 2020, okay? It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, okay, sir? Good luck to you. All right, do we have anything else? No, okay. We will be in recess until tomorrow.